Hello, my crafty friends. It's Crystal with Happy to Plan. I am going to be doing a organize with me today, and I'm going to be trying to tackle my project life cards. Now, I've done this video in two different ways. I'm going to kind of speed through kind of the first part of this video and kind of just do a voiceover, and then I'm going to actually go into like a little bit more detail at the end of the video. So, I have quite a big collection of Project Life cards that I have really pared down. And even in this video, I pare down quite a bit more. The thing with Project Life cards is when you purchase them in kits, typically there's ones that are really stuff that you kind of gravitate towards and you would use a lot. And then there's other things that are just not your style. So I really try to just keep the stuff that was my style. Um, I thought I would just show you that I took a little break and had a little brownie in the mix of all this. Um, those brownies are from Domino's, and they are the best things ever. Anyway, so I'm going to kind of walk through how I'm sorting these, and this is on like 4 speed, so my hands are not moving as this fast, but I do have it like speeded up. So basically, how I sort them is like in a couple of different categories. So first of all, I sort them that you can see that little house there in the corner. That one, I basically sort ones that have like a featured image on it, I guess is a good way of saying it. So like an image, like a specific image that I may want to use in either my journaling or my happy planner. And then I have ones that are journaling cards. And what I do with the journaling cards is I break them up into two different sections. I break them up into journaling cards that have stuff at the top, some kind of like saying or writing, a to-do, a memory, like happy memory or something like that. And then I break them up into all they do is have either some sort of image on it, or they're just basically just a journaling card. So I have two different ways of sorting it. And then so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. I'm laying them all out. I'm just kind of sorting them. And I really try to just make quick decisions because it's really not crucial that they get in the right exact spot, but I just try to make really quick decisions, like on the spot, just what color do I see? What do I gravitate towards when I look at that particular thing? And then that is kind of how I separate them into different categories. So I have my images one, I have my journaling cards with the kind of like the phrase on it, and then I have my journaling cards that are just totally 100% blank. And then I have phrase ones, so ones that have like hello and best day ever and all those like different phrases. I have those in its own separate pile as well. And then the other pile that I have are decor ones. So something that that little green one with the yellow flowers there at the top, that one is a decor piece. So that would be something that I would use to maybe decorate just use as a decoration piece. So, and oftentimes what will happen is the front cover will be a decor piece and then the back will be a journaling card. So luckily, they typically give you several copies of the same thing. So I just basically flip it to the side that I'm going to be sorting it into. And I do want to say, like my holiday ones, like Christmas, Valentine's Day, Easter, all of those are in a completely different area. They are not sorted with this stuff. I completely separate those out because when I'm going to be looking for a Christmas journaling card, I'm going to be looking for a Christmas journaling card. So, yeah, so that's basically kind of what I'm doing here and kind of sorting out into the different categories. So I would just recommend doing what works best for you. And now I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about what I do after I get them sorted. So I sorted everything out and I purchased these bins at Daiso Japan,
And the reason that I purchased these was specifically because they were square. It's really hard to find perfect, it's not, I mean, it's pretty square, perfectly square containers. Typically what happens is for some reason they're wider at the top than they are at the bottom. So it makes it really difficult for you to store something that's fairly square shaped in a container that kind of gets smaller at the bottom. So that's why I purchased these. Obviously they were Daiso, so they were $1.50. I know sometimes their stuff is a little bit more expensive, but they happen to be $1.50. So I was like, yes, please. So I bought 2 of these, and I really like these specifically because they have a nice little handle here, so I can kind of pull them out from where I am and carry this to my desk. So since I bought 2 of them, I was like, okay, I'm only going to keep 2 crates worth, 2 boxes worth of journaling cards. I'm actually going to take these out of here and put them in a different spot. So I decided to keep just what I could fit in these 2 bins. So I obviously showed you a little bit of the sorting process of me going through that, and I talked through that a little bit. So this section right here is all of my sets. So these are basically ones when I was pulling out that I felt like I could make a planner layout with them. So I've got kind of different little like sets together so that when I'm ready to do that particular planner spread, I can just come over here and pull those journaling cards out. And then I have them all listed in my bullet journal. I do have a setup video for this if you want to check out what that looks like. But basically what I did was I just wrote down all of the Project Life card kits that I have so that I can, you know, when I'm ready to, you know, pull the Create Happy Pages, I can go ahead and just pull those out. So that's what this kind of section right here is. Now I have another section up here, which I'm not sure. I think I'm going to go like this. So right here is kind of a section of like cards, like there's number cards from that have the numbers of the week, and then these are all like list stuff, and then these are all like month things. So anything that has to do with like you know, a weekly page or you know, the months of the year. So that's kind of where what's sitting up front in front of this. And then I think what I'm going to do, this stack right here is all of my cards with words on them. So I'm going to put those kind of in the front because I will kind of gravitate towards grabbing those a little bit quicker than I would anything else. And to be honest, I only kept this many because I just felt like I'm more likely, if I'm looking for a word, I'm more likely to go get a sticker than a journaling card. So I just really narrowed it down to the ones that I really thought that I would use. So now I'm kind of at this spot, and I did put these all in here because I felt like I needed to get them off the table. Because this is several days from when the video I just showed you. So now I have these cards. These are kind of my bigger cards. And again, I only kept the ones that I felt like I would use. Now, basically what's happened is I've kind of combined them, but they are still separated. So I have, my separations are like, these are just journaling cards that just have nothing on them, no like sayings or anything like that. They're just plain with no, they might have a decoration or something on there, but there's no like words. So these are all the like word ones that have words. And then I've got some of the ones that are just like design elements. So these have just pictures on them. So there's only a couple of those. And then I have a bunch of ones that I could just use for like background designs and things like that. And then I have a bunch that have sayings on them. So now at this point, what I need to do is I need to separate out the, so these are kind of my different sections. So I have 4 different kind of categories, or 5 different categories. So what I want to do at this point is I want to kind of organize my subcategories. And that's what's going to take a lot of time, because what I typically do is I color coordinate them, because what I want to do when I'm thinking about organization and how I'm going to organize it is how am I going to go search for it in my stash. If I have something that I'm working on and I'm looking for something specific, I typically have a color in mind that I want, right? So I typically have a color that I can say, okay, I want this color, or I'm looking for something that's in the green tones or in the teal tones or pink or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and go look for those things in that section, and then I only have to pull out the pink tones, the, you know, whatever. I only have to pull those ones out. I won't have to necessarily look at all of them. I just have to pull out the ones that you know, match that particular color that I'm looking for. And then, you know, most likely I'll be able to find it within that color scheme. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go ahead and organize the different colors and kind of just decide. And what I'm trying to do, this is in the wrong stack. What I'm trying to do is make quick decisions so that I can basically then have everything at least in somewhat of a color coordinated. I'm not looking for perfection here. I'm not looking for, you know. So this is the little bit difficult one, because it's beige in the background, but if I was looking for it, but I would more likely use it with a pink layout than I would a beige layout. So I'm going to put it within the pink section. So that's kind of another thing I do, is where would I want to find it if I was looking for it later on? What section would I want to find it in? Okay, so then typically what I do is I put my blacks, my black and my brown and my gray kind of together. And then typically like white, maybe cream. So again, I'm just trying to, these are kind of multicolor, so I'm going to just put it in front. Yellow. So then I kind of just do like rainbow. Like I do red, pink, yellow, orange, blue, green. And then gold I usually just stick right in the middle. So it becomes kind of a, now it's a little bit more manageable in that I can just kind of like flip through these. Okay, these are all my teal ones. Is there anything in there that I want to use? So it's not as daunting as having a big huge stack. And then I'm going to go ahead and put it in here. I didn't have very many of these, so I'm okay with them kind of being in not necessarily color order, because I'm going to put a little bit of color order, but I'm okay with, because I can literally just grab these real quick and go, okay, is there anything in here I want to use? Like, there's not that many of those. And I think I want to keep the ones that are a little bit less, again, these are kind of ones that like, am I really going to look for these? Am I going to come to this section in my craft space when I'm looking for a word. I just don't know. I don't know the answer to that because I've had them. I haven't been because the main reason is because it was too much. I just had too many and there was no way I could look at them all. So it's like, how do you look at something that's just, it's too much? So I needed to just pare down to the ones that I knew I was going to use. I don't know. The thing is, I just kind of feeling like I'm very like, my space is very precious. My space is precious and I want to make sure that I'm keeping my space for the areas and the things that I'm going to actually use. And I mean, I guess I'm going to see if it works. I mean, I've thrown a lot of them away and honestly, I don't even remember them anymore. Like, it's not even a thing. I mean, I might one day be like, oh, where's that journal card? But the fact is I didn't even know half of what these journal cards looked like or what I had in here because so many of them were just in here, not doing anything with them. So again, kind of trying to put it in the same kind of order. Reds. Put that with that one. Put that on top of there. So again, at least they're color coordinated and they're manageable. Like I can really flip those through those and see if there's anything I want to use. Let's put this in the green section. These can go. And then I'm just going to set these in the front of that. And then I'm going to do the same thing with these two stacks. And then I will be able to kind of keep them a little bit more organized. I think I'm going to move another stack into here from the other side. And then basically I'll do the same thing with my smaller cards so that I can have them also in kind of color order as well. So it's going to take a while. It's going to be a little bit daunting, but I think overall it's going to be worth it because I think it's really the only way I'll be able to actually start using those products that I have. And I want to use them because I bought them and I like them and I think they're cute and I want to start using them and utilizing them more in my different layouts and different projects. So I'm going to be sharing a craft room tour with you next week. I've recorded the video. Now I just have to edit and upload it. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and make sure you turn that little bell notification on and you will get notified when that uploads. I'll see you real soon. Bye for now.